Welcome back. Now, tech platform for frontline workers, Better Place, has just launched its Frontline Index report for 2022, which finds that India created 8 million frontline jobs in FY22 compared to about 7 million the year before. And unsurprisingly, the bulk of these came from the e-commerce sector. To talk about this year's trends and the outlook for next year, I have with me two very special guests. Praveen Agarwala, the co-founder and CEO at Better Place, and Tarun Sinha, the CEO of the enterprise business. Praveen and Tarun, thank you very much for your time. Praveen, let me start with you. What were some of the key findings of the report this year?
So I think in last year, as you must have seen the report as well, Ritu, we added more than 8 million jobs in the industry, around 55–60% coming from the new age companies like e-commerce, logistics, and so on. Rest coming from the traditional economy, retail, BFSI, those. The other interesting thing we saw is that there is a jump and shift in the gig economy. People are moving towards gig work, especially in the logistics, e-commerce, or the new age, of course, but also increasing in the traditional economy as well, like retail or hospitality, QSR, and so on and so forth. We also see huge adoption of technology coming in, be it learning, for example. Using our own platform, we trained roughly 2 million people last year on the mobile app itself. So there's a huge shift from traditional way of doing things to the new age digital way, right? The other shift that we are seeing is that people who migrated back to their hometowns during pandemic, they have also started coming back to the city. While the percentage of migration has gone slightly up, overall jobs have increased, so people have also started looking for opportunities within their towns and cities as well, right? So while the migration percentage has increased, the local opportunities are also increasing at the same time. These are some of the very interesting findings that we have.
We'll get to some of the specifics in just a bit, but Tarun, FY22 was a relatively better year when we compare it to the first year of the pandemic, and a lot of job losses were faced, especially by the gig workers. How many of those jobs have really come back since?
I would say predominantly most of them, and even more. So the demand has drastically jumped up in the last year. Some industries are actually leading it, to be very frank. What is also happening is that, like Praveen mentioned, this flexibility of work that is coming in. So I would say the future is entrepreneur. So while the demand has come back in full flow, I see a shift happening when it comes to the fact that I want flexi work, I want to work at my own time, and can I increase my income by doing that? Because the challenge is the salary is a little lower in this ecosystem. So how does the worker manage that?
So actually, Praveen, let me put that question to you. The salaries, they still remain at around 22,000 per month for these frontline workers and these gig workers. What is the sort of trend we've seen over the years? Because compared to the high inflation that the country has been facing, the salaries haven't really moved up much.
Yeah, so average salary last year was around 21,000. This year it has gone to 22,500 odd bucks, so it has gone slightly up. But unfortunately, it's still not matching the inflation, right? Inflation went up by almost 14–15%, while the increase is around 8%, right? So people are still losing money from an inflation point of view. But some of the sectors are paying slightly higher, where there is a gigification or there is a potential to earn more money per day or per hour. But there are other industries where the salaries are pegged at kind of minimum wage, right? If you look at retail, for example, or security and other industries, and if you look at our data also, retail is one of the lowest paying salary, while logistics pays higher because of flexibility and so on. The range could vary anything between 12,000 rupees to 28,000 rupees. That's a range that we see.
And compared to pre-pandemic, how much of an increase would the workers have seen?
More or less it's remained the same.
So there hasn't been an
there is no change, but what has changed is that the benefits have started kicking in. Pre-pandemic, you were not bothering about giving health benefits or insurance or stay or food or hygiene and other things. Now organizations are very particular about it.
What would FY23 look like?
We believe this would be a growth of around 20% the next year, which would be close to 9.5 to 10 million.
And where will these jobs be created?
We still believe 50% to 60% percentage of that will come in the e-commerce logistics sector. We will see growth across industries. Of course, the growth was dominated by logistics and e-commerce last year. That will change to retail and